principle is simple. Say what comes to mind within 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, your filter kicks in and starts rejecting perfectly good conversation material.
Yeah. You know what I realized, bro? This little filter right here, that's not even you. Literally all the thoughts that come to your mind, they're informed by the way that you've lived in the past. And they're informed by, you know what I'm saying, the fact that you may have identified with that thought in the past. So now when the same thought kind of comes up, you're like, oh no, yeah, that do sound like me. Every single thought that pops up into your head, you gotta question that hoe. You have the choice to attach on to certain thoughts or whether to discard other thoughts. If it sounds like something that you want to do, when you imagine the ideal version of yourself, that thought, is that something that they would even say to you? Is that the kind of thoughts you would have? Is that the kind of thing you would even entertain? If not, just look at it as noise, trying to keep you small, trying to keep you safe. That practice just puts you back in the driver's seat. It reminds you constantly that you have the choice to make whatever decision you want. How to mostly never run out of things to say. Video by Jamie Social. Now I know me, the main reason I clicked on this video, bro, was to just find out how to really talk to the hoes better. I don't know why you did, whether it's to make friends, talk to the hoes, build connections, for work, you know what I'm saying? We try like, what's it called? Network, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your reason is, but I know what mine is. Boy, I'm trying to get some hoes. Now I feel like I know what the way is to never run out of things to say, and I feel like that's just by developing, that's not even a word. I feel like it's by developing your listening skills, but we're gonna wait for the video to say what it really is in their opinion. So let's get, you know what I'm saying, straight to it. Video, take it away.
Ever had your mind go completely blank in the middle of a conversation? That moment of panic when you suddenly have nothing to say? It's not just you, and it's not because you're boring. The conversation paradox is that we actually have too many things to say, not too few. Your brain constantly generates thoughts, but most get filtered out before reaching your lips. This filter is what's making you go blank. Every time you think, that's too random, or they won't care about that, you're strengthening this filter. The more you worry about saying the right thing, the fewer options your conscious mind has available. Imagine someone mentions they just got back from vacation. Your mind generates dozens of responses. Questions about the trip, comments about your own travel plans, observations about their tan. But your filter kicks in. The tan comment seems shallow. The joke might fall flat, and suddenly, blank mind.
Yeah.
Understanding that your problem isn't a lack of things to say, but an overactive filter is the first step to never running out of conversation.
Okay.
We all face the same paradox every day. In dates, interviews, networking events, those moments when the pressure to be interesting makes our minds go completely blank. Remember the last time you had a conversation that just flowed effortlessly? That was your filter temporarily turning off.
Yep.
Let's learn how to do that consistently. Chapter 1. The Stop Overthinking Principle.
I feel like you just do that, John, bro. You just gotta do it. Realize that, through trial and error, the more you mess up, or the more you say the wrong thing, apparently, and you realize that nothing horribly bad happens to you, you get more comfortable doing it. And once you see those things go right, as a matter of fact, when you say something that you didn't know how it would pan out, and it actually goes great, just from you being yourself, now that person likes you way more. That's the key right there. So the way to do it is to just do it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to stop overthinking. When a thought come to your head, say that joint. You just got to trust whatever you say and then stand on the consequences of whatever come with it. As long as you're not sexually harassing nobody, you're not making no threats to nobody, you're not doing nothing of that sort, you will be fine, my friend.
What if I told you that overthinking is killing your conversations? That your attempt to say the perfect thing is exactly what's making you say nothing at all? Let me introduce you to the Stop Overthinking Principle. The principle is simple. Say what comes to mind within 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, your filter kicks in and starts rejecting perfectly good conversation material.
Yeah.
This isn't about blurting out.
You know what I realized, bro? This little filter right here, that's not even you. I like how they're saying that's a filter. It's literally not you. Those self-criticizing thoughts, you got to look at them as not even you. Literally all the thoughts that come to your mind, they're really not you. They're informed by the way that you've lived in the past. And they're informed by, you know what I'm saying, the fact that you may have identified with that thought in the past. So now when the same thought kind of comes up, you're like, oh no, yeah, that do sound like me. The thing about it is, every single thought that pops up into your head, you got to question that hoe. You got to just let it sit in your mind, you know what I'm saying? Kind of imagine weather going all around you and you still just walking in that joint like you unbothered, right? That's kind of how you got to see your thoughts. See it as noise, see it as weather, trying to throw you off your pivot. But at the end of the day, you have the choice to attach on to certain thoughts or whether to discard other thoughts. Use the ones that serve you, discard the ones that don't. Don't be so quick to identify with a certain thought. You know what I'm saying? If it sounds like something that you want to do, when you imagine the ideal version of yourself, that thought, is that something that they would even say to you? Is that the kind of thoughts you would have? Is that the kind of thing you would even entertain? If not, just look at it as noise, trying to keep you small, trying to keep you safe. But if the thought is actually useful and it fits in with what the person you're trying to be, the identity you're trying to build, you can entertain that thought. It's literally you know what I'm saying? It's kind of that practice just puts you back in the driver's seat. It reminds you constantly that you have the choice to make whatever decision you want. Literally, think of your thoughts as just people giving you suggestions on how to live your life. Outside factors that is literally not true. You can choose to listen to them if you agree with it, but if you don't agree with it, literally recognize that it ain't true. Don't get mad that you having the thoughts because they not even yours, if you know what I'm saying. That is a trap I be getting caught up in. I'm like, why am I even having this thought? I need to fix this. But literally, you don't choose what comes to your mind, at least not consciously. You may do it subconsciously, but you're not consciously choosing to have self-deprecating or self-critical thoughts. They just pop up. So don't get mad at them because you're not choosing for that to happen. Just choose which ones you want to follow, which ones you want to adhere to. And by doing that more often, you actually go and get rid of them thoughts, them bad thoughts that you have in the first place. You go and get rid of them as a byproduct of what you're already doing. Not because you tried to do it on purpose, but just because the way you living now and the way you thinking now and the way you really moving now, it just doesn't line up with that negative frame of thinking. So them things not even going to come to your mind. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, don't identify with them thoughts. You literally got to question every single thing that pop up into your head. Now it sounds exhausting, but the better you get at doing that, John, it's just going to become second nature. So don't shy away from it.
Perfectly good conversation material. This isn't about blurting out inappropriate thoughts. Your basic social awareness still operates. It's about bypassing your second-guessing system. We treat casual coffee chats like we're being interviewed for a top-secret government position, as if one boring comment will disqualify us from human interaction forever.
Facts.
When you implement this principle, the boring things you say often lead to the best conversations. Why? Because they're authentic, unexpected, and uniquely you. Someone mentions they love dogs. Within 3 seconds, you might think, I wonder what kind, or my neighbor has a dog that barks all night. Don't analyze which is most interesting, just say one. Even the barking neighbor comment could lead to great conversation about difficult neighbors or noise ordinances, paths that wouldn't open with a filtered response. This principle instantly multiplies your
Shorty asked bro a question. He just said, that's nice.
Great conversation about difficult neighbors or noise ordinances.
Isn't that against the noise rules where you
wouldn't
live?
Open with a filtered response.
That's nice.
This principle instantly multiplies.
Oh wait, that was just another scenario. Wish you could have said. Never mind. Discard that. Pretend it didn't happen.
Multiplies your potential conversation topics and removes the pressure to be clever. Think about your closest friends, the people you never run out of things to say with. Notice how little you filter your thoughts around them. That's your goal with everyone. Chapter 2, Curiosity, your conversation superpower. The single most powerful tool for never running out of things to say isn't cleverness, it's curiosity. People who can talk to anyone aren't the most interesting people. They're the most interested people. Genuine curiosity solves almost every conversation problem. When you're truly curious, you'll never run out of questions. And people love talking to curious people because it feels good to be found interesting.
Facts. The question is, though, how do you become interested? Because you can't fake that hoe. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if you fake it, it just goes against the whole purpose, because when you try to perform like you interested, you're not even interested for real. You start overthinking that whole, oh, am I doing this right? Yeah. So the question a lot of people would then ask is, how do you truly become interested?
The key is genuine curiosity, not fake interest as a conversation technique. Everyone has something fascinating about them. Your job is to discover what that is. The moment you become genuinely curious, conversation anxiety evaporates because your focus shifts from your performance to their experience. When someone mentions their job, don't just ask what they do and move on. Find the aspect that interests you. What's the most challenging part? How did you get started? What would surprise people about your industry? These questions come naturally when you're curious, and they open doors to deeper conversations that go far beyond the initial topic. In a world where most people are waiting for their turn to speak, the person who listens with genuine curiosity becomes magnetic.
Yeah.
People remember how you made them feel, not what you said. Remember the last time someone showed genuine interest in your life or work? How good did that feel? That's the gift you're giving others when you lead with curiosity. Chapter 3. The Art of the Follow-Up Question. The secret weapon of great conversationalists isn't having a lot to say. It's knowing how to ask follow-up questions. Master this skill, and you could talk to a wall for an hour. Well, if the wall had interests and opinions.
Right.
Follow-up questions transform a basic exchange into a deep conversation. The magic formula is: listen, identify details, dig deeper. Instead of jumping to your related experience, stay with their topic longer. Most people switch topics too quickly out of conversation anxiety. But truly satisfying conversations explore subjects with some depth before moving on.
Okay.
Follow-up questions require zero preparation because they're generated from what the other person just said. If someone says, "I just got back from Italy," the basic response is,
How was it?
"How was it?" But the follow-up master asks,
Let me see. Shoot, what was your favorite part?
"What was your favorite city?"
Okay. Okay, I was kind of along the lines. Okay.
Then, what made Florence stand out?
Yeah.
And then, was it the architecture that impressed you or something else? Each question goes one
That's
level
hard.
deeper, showing genuine interest while making the conversation incredibly easy to maintain. We've all experienced those maddening conversations where someone asks how your day was, then immediately launches into a 20-minute monologue
About they day.
theirs without a single follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that person. By mastering follow-up questions, you shift responsibility off yourself and create space for the other person to share more. This makes you instantly more likable while simultaneously reducing your conversation workload. A true win-win social strategy. Chapter 4. Conversation Threading. Never run out of topics. What if you could turn one conversation topic into 5 new directions? That's exactly what conversation threading does.
Okay.
It's like having a conversation GPS that always shows you the available paths forward. It transforms how we communicate. Conversation threading is identifying multiple potential topics within what someone just said. In every response, people offer several conversation threads you can pull on. If someone says, "I just got back from hiking in Colorado with my brother, though the weather wasn't great,"
Okay. What could we say off that?
As-
What could we say off that?
"I just got back from hiking in Colorado with my brother, though the weather wasn't great."
Word. Shit, who idea was it to do that? You could say something like those, okay?
There are at least 5 threads. Hiking,
Was it you or your brother? Who was the crazy one? And who ended up being the one dragging the one back, you know what I'm saying, once things ain't go their way, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Colorado, their brother, the weather, or travel in general.
Mm-hmm.
By mentally noting these threads, you always have backup topics when one direction runs dry.
Facts.
It's like having conversation insurance. I want you to try something the next time you're in a conversation. Actually listen for all the possible directions within what someone just said. You'll be amazed at how many there usually are. Imagine someone says, "I've been working on a website project that's taking forever because my client keeps changing requirements." You could ask about the website itself, how long forever is, what changes the client wants, how they deal with difficult clients, or explore their broader work.
Yeah.
By tracking these threads, you'll never face that dreaded, "now what do I say?" moment. Have you ever been talking to someone and suddenly realized the conversation has completely stalled. That's because you both missed the available threads to keep it going.
Yeah.
Now
I
you'll
feel like that. I don't know what it is. I feel like I've been conditioned to think this way, but I feel like it's the man's job to do that, to keep the convo going. You know what I'm saying? Like that isn't inherently, it's not an inherently masculine trait, but that's what I see it as. I'm kind of like, oh, it's on me. When me and a girl's on a date, it's really on me to set the pace, set the tone, especially if I'm the one who asked her out. Oh yeah, that's my job. You know what I'm saying? It just feels manly to really just like lead the direction, thread the needle, things like that. You know what I'm saying?
see dozens of potential topics. And
So if a girl ain't like that, I'm not necessarily mad at her. That's not something I would really need. I would like for you to be curious, you know what I'm saying? I would like for you to, of course, add to the conversation, but you shouldn't be the one carrying that hoe. It should be me. You know what I'm saying?
in the simplest state.
When I ask you a question, I want you to go in depth and give me even more threads to pull on, but I don't want you to be the one consciously peeping out the threads that I'm talking about and then you responding to what I'm saying, because I'm the puppet master. Not to say I'm manipulating you, but you feel me? This game's going the way I want it to go, you know what I'm saying? But you don't even see that. You don't even see it.
Making conversations feel effortless. Chapter 5. The balance of depth and lightness.
Yeah.
The most engaging
huge.
conversations are like a good movie. They have both light moments and deeper scenes. Too much depth becomes heavy. Too much lightness feels shallow. Mastering this balance is how you create memorable interactions that leave people wanting more. Great conversations dance between depth and lightness. Depth creates connection, while lightness creates enjoyment. Most people err on one side, either keeping everything surface level out of fear or diving too deep too quickly and creating discomfort. Start with lighter topics to establish comfort, then introduce deeper elements once rapport exists. When a topic gets too heavy, learn to pivot to something lighter to release tension. This rhythm is what makes a conversation feel both meaningful and enjoyable. After discussing career challenges, depth, you might shift to, speaking of work stress, have you seen that viral video of the guy meditating while his office literally falls apart around him? This maintains the theme while shifting to something lighter.
Yep.
Conversely, after discussing favorite Netflix shows, lightness, you might ask, do you think what we watch actually influences how we see the world?
That's hard.
Adding depth to a casual topic. In our social media-driven world, we're losing the art of balanced conversation. Either everything is a hot take or it's all cat videos. Real connection requires both. Think of your favorite person to talk with. I bet they naturally balance meaningful topics with moments of humor and lightness. That's not an accident, it's conversational mastery. Learn something new? Hit that like button, share it with others, tap
Yeah, I'm
subscribe,
learning, gang. I ain't
and
going
stick
like,
around for more. Got thoughts? I'd love to hear them in
I know, man. Come on now. Let's get back to the vid.
your mind blanks. Even with all these techniques, there will still be moments when your mind goes blank.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to everyone. The difference is that now you'll have specific recovery strategies to get the conversation flowing again within seconds. No more panic. Recovery strategies work by giving your brain a clear direction when it's temporarily offline. The best recovery strategies use the current environment, shared experiences, or simple curiosity as conversation lifelines.
Okay.
They work because they don't require creative thinking in the moment, just implementing a proven template. Most importantly, they're designed to sound natural, not like obvious conversation techniques. Look, we're all human. Your mind will go blank sometimes, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is having a plan for when it happens so you don't panic. When your mind goes blank,
I think
try
that was a Food Wars clip. Okay, my boy No Ball.
the environment scan technique. Simply comment on something in your immediate surroundings. This coffee shop has such a great playlist today, or I really like the artwork they've chosen for this office. Another foolproof recovery is the curious reversion. Return to something they mentioned earlier. Actually, I'm curious. You mentioned you grew up in Seattle. What was that like? Everyone experiences conversation blanks, even professional speakers and talk show hosts. The difference is they've developed recovery techniques that are so smooth you never notice the glitch. These recovery techniques are like social safety nets that let you take bigger conversational risks. Chapter 7. The Conversation Emergency Kit. Every great conversationalist has a secret weapon, a mental emergency kit of go-to topics and questions they can deploy.
So it ain't bad to prepare ahead of time to an extent. Obviously, you don't want to prepare the whole conversation, but just in case, you know what I'm saying, in a last ditch effort, it's good to have, you know what I'm saying, a script. Script is me, you know what I'm saying? Because I do be having scripts, but I be having the script from the get-go. As soon as I go up to the drum, I'm like, all right, I'm going to say all these things. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to go great, even though you can't predict the direction of a conversation. If you could do that, why are you talking to anybody? Talk to yourself. You the GOAT. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go do something else. But yeah, bro, this is great. Because I do be doing these and I be feeling like, bro, you trying too hard with these. You're not really living in the moment if you got these. But no, after you get done living in the moment, have these joints just to, you know what I'm saying, start the conversation back up again. And then you could live in the moment once more. Okay.
It's not
kind of like having an outline.
cheating, it's preparation.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the ultimate kit right now. A conversation emergency kit contains versatile topics and questions that work across most situations. Your kit should include current events, non-controversial, entertainment, travel, food, technology, and aspirational questions. The most effective emergency questions balance universality with uniqueness, common enough that everyone can answer, but interesting enough to generate engaged responses.
That's hard.
Keep 5 to 7 of these ready at all times, refreshing them periodically so they don't become stale. Instead of the generic, "What do you do?" try, "What's been keeping you busy lately?" Instead of "Seen any good movies?" try, "What shows are you currently watching that you'd recommend?"
That's hard.
Rather than "Have any trips planned?" ask,
Where you trying to go next?
"If you could teleport anywhere for just 24 hours, where would you go?"
That's tough.
These questions work because they're accessible to everyone, but invite more interesting and personal responses. Having this emergency kit eliminates conversation anxiety because you know you'll never completely run out of things to say. Chapter 8. Self-disclosure, creating meaningful connection. The fastest way to deepen any conversation is through appropriate self-disclosure. When you share
I was ready to say, when do you talk about yourself?
something genuine about yourself, you create an opening for the other person to do the same. It's conversation alchemy, turning small talk into real connection. Self-disclosure works through the principle of reciprocity. When you share something slightly personal, it creates safety for others to match your level of openness. The key word is slightly. Increase disclosure gradually, not dramatically. Move from facts to opinions to feelings. For example, from "I'm from Chicago," fact, to "I love Chicago but wouldn't want to live there again," opinion, to "moving away was actually really difficult for me," feeling.
Okay.
This progression feels natural and allows the other
going
person to
deeper.
match your depth without discomfort. Instead of just saying you enjoyed a movie, add, "It actually reminded me of my relationship with my sister. We had that same competitive dynamic growing up." This small personal revelation opens the door for them to share about their family dynamics. You're not oversharing. You're simply adding a personal dimension that invites deeper exchange and shows there's a real human being behind your words. In a world where we have hundreds of digital connections but still feel isolated, the ability to create genuine conversation through appropriate self-disclosure is more valuable than ever. Chapter 9. The Perfect Exit, ending conversations gracefully. Knowing how to end
I ain't
conversations.
gonna lie, I just be like, no, it's good talking to you. All right, I'm gonna see you later. And then I go about, because most of the time when I'm talking, it's at the gym. So I'm always like, all right, I'm gonna get back to this workout, man. I ain't gonna hold you up. I be saying that every single time, bro. OD, that's the best script for the gym. I ain't gonna lie. But I need other places for sure.
well is just as important as knowing how to sustain them. A graceful exit leaves a positive final impression and sets the stage for future interactions. Yet most people bungle this crucial conversational stage.
Yeah.
The perfect exit has 3 components: positive affirmation, genuine reason, and future bridge.
Okay.
The positive affirmation acknowledges the value of the interaction. The genuine reason provides a non-personal explanation for ending. And the future bridge maintains the connection beyond this single conversation. Remember, all conversations must end eventually. A good exit isn't a conversation failure. It's the natural conclusion to a successful interaction. And mastering this skill removes the pressure to indefinitely sustain every exchange. We've all experienced those painful conversation endings that leave everyone feeling awkward, the trailing off, the false promises to catch up soon, the obvious relief when it's over. Instead of an abrupt, well, I should go, try. It's been really great learning about your photography projects. Positive affirmation. I need to head out for another appointment. Genuine reason. But I'd love to see some of your work sometime. Maybe you could send me a link. Future bridge. This formula works in professional settings, social gatherings, or even with strangers, and always leaves a positive impression rather than an awkward feeling. By mastering graceful exits, you complete the conversation skill set.
Okay.
You now have the tools to start conversations, sustain them, recover when they stall, and end them positively, making you a fully equipped, confident communicator in any situation.
Indeed.
Let's recap what we've
I
covered.
was ready to say, let me see if I can remember. So low key, I feel like, boom, take that funnel off. Don't overthink what you say. Once you say something, stick with it. You know what I mean? When you listening to them talk, observe all the directions you could take it in. Take it in a specific direction. You got to thread that needle though. So make sure after you ask that first question, you listening again for other directions you could take it in, right? Keep doing that. You might run out of something else, but that's where the, you know what I'm saying, conversation threading comes into, where you recognize all them other paths you could have took. If you want to keep talking, go down another path. Once you do that, take the same thing, look at all the threads they give you, keep an open mind, go into them joints deeply, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you got to mix in some serious talk, some lighthearted talk, and then boom, after all that, you start saying stuff about yourself, make them comfortable to do the same thing. That's when you really start relating to people. You start building that genuine connection again. You can sense the vibe, see if you're all right with each other. If not, cut that joint off. There ain't no next time, my boy. But if there is a next time, you got in that joint on a good note, say, no, it was real good talking to you. I got to go do these. But no, we should definitely talk some other time. I'm interested to know about this certain thing you was talking about. But we'll say that joint for later. It was good to see you. Like, yeah, bro, okay. I think I got it.
You now understand that running out of things to say isn't about lacking interesting thoughts. It's about excessive filtering. You've learned to implement the 3-second rule to bypass overthinking. You know that genuine curiosity is your greatest conversation asset, and that follow-up questions can extend any discussion. You've mastered conversation threading to always see multiple pathways forward. And you have concrete strategies for recovering from mind blanks, creating deeper connections through selective self-disclosure, and ending conversations gracefully. These skills don't just make you a better conversationalist, they transform your entire social experience. Conversations become opportunities for discovery rather than performances to be judged. Social anxiety diminishes as your confidence in your conversation abilities grows. And most importantly, you create more meaningful connections with the people around you, because real conversation is the foundation of real relationship. So go out there and start talking. I guarantee you won't run out of things to say.
Amen.
At least not mostly.
WVID, boy, WVID. Like I said, everything we just recapped on, that's how you do it. But I ain't gonna lie, this joint seemed like real complicated, bro. At a certain point, it's just like, man, I just want to talk. So if I had to remember a few things, 3 things that I'll remember from this whole video: don't overthink, keep an open mind, and have things you could fall back on in case your mind go blank. And then, of course, at the end, make sure you don't just leave abruptly, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like make that joint, stick the landing, if you will. Make it all make sense. So if I had to remember, those are those 4 things. If you agree, or if you have another 4 things you will remember from the vid, leave it in the comment section down below. Appreciate y'all watching the video. Make sure to like it, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all as always. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Love y'all. Peace.